Before I went in the changing room, someone said to me, "Oh, I wouldn't go in there. I don't think you're flavour of the month." I'm like, "Fuck it."
I just listened to an interview with Eddie Hearn, and he's talking about after the Katie Taylor and Chantelle Cameron fight, he went to visit Chantelle Cameron in her dressing room. She went in there, they were all unhappy about everything. And Eddie Hearn is like, "Well, you lost the fight. You know you lost the fight." He's telling them, you can tell by your faces at the end of the fight. You could tell by your faces you lost, and you could tell by Katie's faces that they'd won. You could see who'd won the fight, just like the last fight. You could see you won, and Katie Taylor had lost.
You know, when I went into Chantelle Cameron's dressing room after the fight, I said, "You lost the fight." "Oh, well, I said, "You lost the fight. You know you lost the fight, really, and everybody knows when the scorecards were read out, you could see your faces, you knew you'd lost the fight. Just like Katie Taylor and her team knew they lost the fight the first time around." Do you know what I mean?
So Eddie Hearn has gone in there with his point of view of the fight went. You knew you lost the fight. And he was correct in what he was saying. You could tell by your body language. Yes, they knew they'd lost the fight. But they knew they'd lost the fight the way the referee had handled the fight. The way the referee had given them nothing. The way the referee had ignored the knockdown. All these points is why they knew. Why the body language knew we're going to be ripped off by her, and why they were all looking deflated because they knew this is a robbery, we're being robbed. And you've got Eddie in, well, you could tell you knew you lost the fight.
Nigel and Jamie, they said, "Oh, she was holding too much." I said, "Probably. Experience, though." Do you know what I mean? "Oh, it was a knockdown." Maybe. But you lost, didn't you?
The guy seems to lack empathy. He haven't judged this fight with an eye of, is she being treated right in this fight by the ref? No, he's only interested in how Katie's doing. He's not interested in Cameron. He's not interested in Chantelle. It's obvious. He asked, now, are you in the bad books? So he said, well, I won't be flavour of the month now. They'll have me for doing everything wrong. It'll be all my fault.
Has that affected any relationships with Team Cameron and potential rematches?
In time, I think, at the moment, I guess I get the blame for everything, They talk about, obviously, Katie's holding. I thought she was very experienced in that respect. Should she have had a warning? Maybe. The knockdown, again, the feet were definitely tangled. Also, a punch sent her over. Those kind of things can go for or against you.
He's put in a, she'll get over it soon enough type of thing attitude. But might run deeper than that. You could see something was off with why Chantelle was doing in these interviews. When they asked Eddie about the referees, then he went on to one about, well, Chantelle and the team were given the net referees' names and the judges' names well before the fight. They could have done their research on them. They had plenty of time to check them out. Isn't he supposed to be doing things like that for them? Isn't that part of his thing, to be checking out the referees that he's getting in with his fights on his promotion? Who's he leaving it to? Is he leaving it to Chantelle to be doing all that? They're supposed to be trusting him and leaving it in his hands. Oh, well, they had plenty of time to be checking them out to decide if they wanted them or not. Was it their job to pick them? Whose job was it to pick them, Eddie? Now you're saying it's their fault because they didn't check them over. Well, who was checking them over for them? The more I hear him talking and everything I'm hearing each day, it just is getting worse and worse.
You've got 4 completely random officials, international officials, that you get the opportunity to look at pre-fight, and if you have an issue with them, make a decision. So, Chantelle, I haven't spoken to her since. I went back to see her straight after the fight, but she'd already gone.
The mistreatment. And then the end of the thing, they're going on about, will the trilogy, if there's a trilogy, would it be back in the UK? He said, well, it could be back in the UK. Won't be nearly as much money. So basically, if she wants a good payday for this trilogy, the only way she's going to get good money is if it goes back to Ireland. What's this obsession he's got with Ireland? Oh, is he from the UK? But he don't want a big UK championship, women's championship fight. He wants another one. He's just sucking up to Ireland all the time. Why wouldn't there be a big payday in the UK, Eddie? Why is there only going to be Dublin that could be a big payday? You think it's only going to be Croke Park that could get filled up? The way Chantelle's been mistreated, I tell you what, there's going to be a lot of UK people, British people, will be out in force to support her. There'd be a big payday for her if it was in UK as well. What makes you decide? The venue. Would the venue sell? It would sell in the UK. The only problem you'd have in the UK is getting Katie Taylor to agree to it. Because there's no way she'd be wanting to face Chantelle Cameron in the UK. Because she knows she'd lose her advantage. She'd lose her home advantage, and she knows her chance of being beaten would be too high. She wouldn't have the bottle to do it. Well, Chantelle's had the bottle twice.
Life-changing money, and if you want to make life-changing money again, perhaps there's an opportunity for a trilogy. But sometimes, we're not going back to Dublin, Okay, then other options might be to fight in the UK, but obviously the money will be different.
So here we are. That's my another little rant for the day. Keep you up to date. Like and subscribe and everything, and leave a comment. Good or bad, doesn't matter. Thanks for watching. Bye.